Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. Hello, hello. You need to type something in the chat. Type something in the chat. Philly is in there. Okay. All right, perfect. Just needed to make sure. All right, so I think we're getting some. You can, if you go back there, I want to see if and guys, if anyone's coming in, thank you for tuning in. This is actually me just getting set up and making sure we have audio and video and all of the things. So thank you for coming in and being a part of a sound check when you're doing all of the things. You're a one woman band. How about that? And so we want to make sure I come across loud and clear. And we have good feedback. I see that there is a delay when it comes to YouTube. And it could be, I'm just starting new here to be streaming live. I do know we need to get me centered from a visual perspective. Aesthetically, we want to be pleasing there. And so we're doing the things to make it right. So when I'm really on here for the podcast, we don't have these technical issues. I now have sound, so I'm communicating with, those who can help me, resources and tools that's walking me through for, the video feedback issue that I was having. And so the audio feedback, I should say. I'm glad now you guys are able to hear me. It's been confirmed. And I actually can hear me now in my ear. At one point, I could not hear at all. So, again, guys, welcome to my podcast. This is LadyTPurdy, your level up mentor of personal and professional growth. And we're going to spend time here talking about a lot of things. We're topics that range from communication, what communication is, the types of communication, verbal and nonverbal, just really diving into how we can make sure we don't miss the mark on communication. Yeah. Because sometimes, our actions when we're talking about verbal, right? That is body language, facial expressions. But we'll also talk about digital and those things and making sure we're communicating and connecting in the right way. Those are just, that's just one topic, but there's going to be many. So welcome if you are out there and you hear me. I am LadyTPurdy, the Level Up Mentor. And I'm going to be talking in a lot of my podcast segments about things, right? I just mentioned communication. what it is, what it does, the different types, motivation, transformation, all of the things. Unemployment, that's a good one. I actually will be co-hosting a podcast with a young lady who she and I have been working on a project for a little bit and collecting some data. I, among probably 335,000, probably now more. And you've probably seen me already, either on YouTube or the TT, talking about unemployment. I am among the African American Black women, that 335 that has been out of work in 2025. So we're going to be talking about women in the workplace and how, we can better align ourselves with some of the tools and resources that we have out there that's available that helps us get to the next level. And it's not just Black women, or I want to be clear, it is all women who are impacted. And what our next step looks like after the initial Band-Aid has been ripped off, or the sting, right? What that looks like, what is our fear of that? A lot of times it's not even the fear of the unknown about getting a job. It's the fear of knowing that you have credentials and experience. It's not that. It's how we show up and hope someone hears us, right? And that. And so it's never about I can't do a job, or I'm not qualified enough, but a lot of times it's who's listening and who's going to give me, or take a chance and give me an opportunity to show what I can do, not prove, because I don't have to prove anything, or you shouldn't have to prove anything to anyone. You've done the work. You've put in the time. You've honored everything that you were supposed to do for you to become a better version of you. So if you've gone to school for however many years, you've worked, you've been in the trenches, you should be proud of that. So for women who are unemployed, who are unemployed, period, you want to get ready for this segment, but I did want to just really nurture and be thoughtful to a lot of Black women who have been unfortunately displaced or put out of work, not because you wanted to, but because it was out of your hands. But rest assured, we have to come together as a community and build and help each other when we're down, not kick each other. So just some things that I'm really excited to talk to you guys about. Let's see. We mentioned unemployment, communication, transformation. We're going to be leveling up and doing a lot of things. I'm going to have a lot of different conversations that affect different people, and have them, people, I'm going to have guests on here that are in the medical field and how they're impacted. In particular, my nurses. I hear you, I see you, I stand with you. I have quite a few friends who are nurses and family members, sister-in-law. And, I want to get your perspective on where you are right now. And in our economical and social time, and how that is impacting and affecting us mentally in our mindset and how we shift it. So a lot of conversation there, and just really instrumental, monumental conversations, guys. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Again, thank you for hanging in there while we're doing the sound check, the mic checks, the video, to make sure that it is coming through. I'm going to have to go back into other sources to make sure I am aligned accordingly, just to make sure and we have good feedback and good lighting and all of the good stuff in the video. Sorry, I did freeze. And again, I told you this is like a work in testing progress, because even though I'm new to this, I plan on being true to it, no matter what that looks like. I'm hoping to gain some wonderful, I don't like the word subscriber, and who am I to be trying to change YT? But I'm not really a fan of the word subscriber, because I like feeling like I'm connected to someone. I like the word friends, honestly. I like to build relationships, friendships. And so I'm hoping to build that. I know YouTube calls those soon to be friends, subscribers, but it seems a little impersonal. I'm just being honest, if I can, right? And it's okay to feel a certain way. So when we're talking about communicating and being mindful of things, I'm probably one of those nitpickers on what people might think are the little things, but they go far. Like, let's just take the word subscriber and cross-reference it with the word number. Honestly, think about it. Subscriber to me is equivalent to saying number. So if you're on a job and you're working for this large conglomerate company, they see you as a number. That is it. You can be doing the best job possible. As long as you are producing, as long as you are making the company money, that is great. But you are still viewed as a number. I see number and translate that to subscriber when I, hear that word on YouTube. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not trying to diminish anything, because YouTube's been around for a minute, so obviously something is working. I'm just saying, for Lady T Purdy, as being a leadership mentor, or a mentor of leadership, personally and professionally, because I want people to understand that leadership is not just in a title. You do not have to have a title behind your name. You can be a leader in your community. And like me, I'm just, Lady T Purdy and the Level Up Mentor. That's a lot. That means a lot to me. I'm taking the lead in sharing, experience and day-to-day gifts that help us be better versions. Because I always say, when you know better, you do better to be better. So that's what a leader to me is. A leader can convey. He or she isn't the loudest person in the room. Let's be clear. Okay? No. They are those who are wanting to get something done. We do have different types of leaders. There are different managerial styles, there are different leadership styles. But at the end of the day, to be a leader doesn't mean that you have to have a senior or director, VP of something. That doesn't make you a leader. It just says that you worked hard and you got a job that has a title. But does that really truly make you a leader? So, in my role, in the capacity of how I work and mentor, is just that, just helping you as the individual be whatever that is, the best version. If you're trying to be a better mother, if you're trying to be a better sister or a better friend, you take the lead. That's leadership. Sometimes you've got to step up to the plate. You don't wait for the other person. If you see an opportunity, I believe, open the door, walk through it. That's what this is. That's what you're going to get from LadyTPurdy's channel. So I hope that you come along for the ride as I continue to build more relationships and friendships with you guys. And I see I'm frozen. I'm guessing you can still hear me, but you're not getting a clear picture. I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. And yeah, I did hopefully you guys can still hear, even though the picture wasn't. Okay, there we are. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can continue to build friendships and trust. That's key, right? Today I'm on other platforms, but I was able to go live as I normally do on Thursday on TT. I'm live at 5 with Lady T Purdy, leveling up with Lady T. And we talked about communication 3.0 because I've been talking about communication is one of those things that just never goes away. And there's always some conversation that can be had around communication. So, but just to talk a little bit about it while I'm, wanting to use this as my testing vehicle, working out some audio sound. So yeah, we talked about miscommunication to be exact, and why it happens, and filling in how we fix that, right? There are, and I just mentioned, different types of communication, verbal and nonverbal, environmental. It's a great one. I love that. If we're not familiar with environmental communication, that's your surrounding, and we're talking about the miscommunication. So environmentally, you can be distracted with, or there is something called distraction communication, right? I'm not making this up, I promise. But it is a lot of ways that the ball is dropped. The types of ways we listen that cause problems: selective listening, passive listening, distracted listening, right? All examples of how miscommunication can happen. So selective, when we're talking, and we're going to be talking about all of these things. I love being able to bring this to you. Group dynamics, all of those things. Critical thinking. We're going to talk about the things we're going to have fun and do all the things. But when we're talking about the types of listening that cause problems, selective listening, I don't know if you're out there and you hear me, and hopefully you do, as we continue to get better at this thing and grow my relationships. I ask that you come in and, just hang out and chime in and give your feedback. So when we talk about selective listening, we hear what we want to hear. So we are talking to, I don't know, a spouse, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and brother or sister, just a friend. We are talking and they are not hearing you because they have, I don't know, decided to put their brain in a different space, but not so much where it's not hearing you. So if you say a specific word or two, even after giving the whole narration of the script, right? And they picked out 2 words, 1, 2, or 3 words. That's selective listening. So I'm telling you something and you're only hearing a small piece, a very selective piece of it. But in order for it not to be misconstrued, miscommunicated from you as the listener to translate it maybe to, another teammate or someone else, you've got to really be paying attention to what it is I'm saying and not just hearing 1 or 2 words. So how do we avoid selective listening? It's simple. We have to turn our ears on, completely giving undivided attention to whomever. That's how, when we're talking about leadership, you can't just slice and dice it. You've got to be all in, full throttle. So that's selective listening, and that is one of the types of listening issues or ways to cause miscommunication, right? Because you're selectively hearing. Let's talk a little bit about passive. What is passive listening? You're quiet. You're maybe even a little intense in your face. You appear to be paying attention. So you're nodding. Yeah. Who's guilty of that? Ouch. I know I am. Really? Yeah. And you heard absolutely nothing. That's passive. That's passive listening. You're quiet and you're present, but not really. So that would be passive. Now, what about distracted? I like distracted listening. Are you distracted? Distracted listening is your ears are here, but your mind is scrolling, doing something else. You're cooking, you're vacuuming. Oh my God, I got to make this checklist over here. You're not paying attention. You are so distracted. It's not even funny. That's distracted listening. And those are the types of listening skills. Believe it or not, they are skills that cause problems in communication. So we want to make sure that we're actively listening so we can reflect, right? Do all of the things that will keep us from missing the mark, communicating or trying to recommunicate something that didn't happen in the right capacity because of miscommunication. Listen, miscommunication, I promise, 9 times out of 10 doesn't even have to happen. If we avoid just what I said, those skills that we really don't want to be proud of, the type of skills that distract us, that make us selective in listening or passive. We want to be active listeners. And when we're active listeners, here's another point. Not an active listener where we're just listening to respond, rather than listening to understand, listening to learn, and listening to comprehend, where you can communicate back, not listening to just respond, listening to pounce or jump or explode, because then you miss the mark. Guys, I want to thank you for just listening in. If you're out there in La La Land, I know you're probably scrolling on YouTube and doing all the things of the things. But again, I'm really, truly excited. I don't know if we can have a sip of water on YouTube, so I got to get used to a lot of things, but I need some water because, when you talking all day, whatever. So we're going to obviously focus on my podcast and, really bringing you what you want to hear. And I want to know what you want to hear. I want to be able to bring it to you. I'm not a stuffed shirt, by no means. Just as chill and laid back. And I know there's a lot of people out there that know me and have been rocking with me for some time. I got A1 day ones. And I have mentors out there who have guided me along the way and helped me become who I am today. Because who I am today isn't who I was yesterday, the day before that, and even 6 months ago. I like to think that every single day, every person can pick up something, learn something to make them better. When you know better, there's no excuse, right? Because now you know. You can't say, well, I don't know anymore. I didn't know that. When you say that and then you go and learn what it is that you don't know, you can't use that as an excuse. But what you can do is know better to be better. That's why you're doing better, right? You level up, you become unstoppable, and the sky is the limit. Listen, you can do anything you want to. I'm teaching myself and learning AI. Now, granted, do I probably need to go take a class, a course? Absolutely. And I'm going to do that. But we've got to position ourselves in a way that we can be equipped and ready. They say you don't want to get ready. You got to stay ready. Listen, be ready. Stay ready. And so that's what leveling up with Lady T Purdy is going to be. Again, we have some real fun stuff coming up that we have planned. This was just a little snippet, and mic check, audio check, and video check. Video we're still working on because clearly I'm not centered, as you can see, and just listen. I taught myself OBS, and I'm truly proud of that, which is how this is connecting, and you can see the back or the overlay and all the cute little bubbles that's going on the screen. But listen, a lot when I tell you a lot to take in. So for someone who is not, excuse me, technically sound in programming, things of that nature, I'm quite proud of that myself. So you can do, I told you, anything you want to do. And with that being said, when I talk about having fun and doing all the fun things, hoping to connect with, my son and I, we have something planned, and we have come from different perspectives naturally, because I'm Gen X and he's Gen Z, and then I have a millennial, and so we're planning on having some conversations, a couple of podcasts that will bring things into perspective from different views. I tend to think that generation is lazy, and not meaning that they don't want to do, but it's the way they go about it versus the way I came up, right? So and then being raised by a baby boomer, we looked at things differently, and we see things differently. And so that being said, we wanted to just try and do a little mix and mingle across the different generations, and bring some different perspectives. So I think, listen, I've been talking to you guys for about 35 minutes, and trying to do all the things, and I just want y'all to know that I'm here. It's coming. Here's the podcast is up and running, even though, I'm still working out some of the visual effects, aesthetically making it pleasing. I got past the hard part, y'all, because I promise I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to what? I'm going on YouTube? Who's doing that? And, but I love being able to chit chat and bring you, things from, my perspective, and then get other perspectives, and talk about the things of the things. The holidays are coming, and guys, again, today was really just a way to introduce Lady T Purdy to you, because this is, again, where I'm pushing for podcasting and doing a lot of my interviews. I'm on TT, where I do live at 5s, and I'm talking, and I guess it's more podcast. But here is where we're really going to dig deep and do the interviews that I've been wanting to do, and the conversations that I wanted to talk about and bring to you. I think they're key and important. One thing that I won't do, and not because I can't or I don't feel like I can, I just don't do a lot of the political conversations, because I know there's a lot of podcasters and journalists that are out there that do enough of that for us. But I like to talk about topics that really, I think, serve our community well, suit us well as individuals, in helping us align. If you are, if you don't know, but those who do know, I have created what is called the R system. We'll talk about that, the ARA framework that ties into that, and then the triple A that bridges it all together and you understanding what that means. The R system is my baby. I'll probably introduce you guys to From Movement to Mastery, which is the book that I'm writing. And you'll understand that. So you'll get so much in this podcast. And I'm sorry if you're hearing feedback, because I hear feedback. I When you're in an office and you don't have office doors and you have hardwood floors, sometimes you get a lot of the echoing. But I am so excited to bring all of this to you, and I'm just having fun. And if you're out there, YouTube, please, I'm looking for new friends. So come in and hang out with me. I am one who likes the feedback. I like to read the comments and get things started. And that way you guys can help me along the way. Y'all can tell me what I can and cannot do in YouTube while, live, because I got to get used to it. I see some really cool buttons out here. Like, all of this is new. I promise. I was scared to come on YouTube live, and there has been a shift. And I just said, enough. I want to go into 2026 with a clear mind, a better attitude, and doing the things that I said I was going to do. So I encourage that. I'm sorry, I'm getting some feedback. But yeah, getting a little bit of feedback, and that's what happens when you share a home, and they don't care, obviously. But guys, anyway, we are coming up on, I don't know, I've been chit-chatting with you for, 40 minutes. Oh, good for me. So I got past the hard part. Yay. And I know you guys are out there, and I appreciate if you are on the outside just listening. Thank you for that. I encourage you to come in and let's talk about it. I wish I knew how to get rid of this little sign. Welcome. I guess not, because that's where you do all of that. Look at that. See, I told you. We're going to figure it out. Oh, those are little hearts and thingies. Who knew? But those who did join today, this evening, thank you. I see you. I appreciate you. And look, thank you for the hearts, because this is a lot different, guys, from other platforms that I've been on. So I don't know. But I do appreciate what you, whatever the hearts mean. I don't know what any of this means, but I know this is getting ready to be a whole lot of fun. Listen, when I talk about doing the things of the things, and had I not taught myself OBS, apparently my screen that you're seeing me in the center would have been plain, and I wouldn't have had any like background or anything like that. YouTube is a lot different than the other platform, TT, where you can actually select some of the background. So when I tell you this is very different, I'm really liking it for this reason. It's nice to have templates and things that are at your disposal, your fingertips. But sometimes we get a little complacent. We want things to be more simple and easy. And hey, I'm an advocate of it, I promise. But I also know that in order for you to step out of your comfort zone, when we're talking about leveling up, in life and in leadership, right? You've got to do some things that you may not be familiar with or a little uncomfortable, and you may need to spend a little more time trying to figure it out and learn it. And that's a good thing. Now you have something else under, or another notch in your belt, right? So, if you are out there in YT land, again, it's Lady T Purdy, your level up mentor, and I am looking for new friends. So come in and hang out with me. I am not familiar with when's a good time to go live on YouTube. I don't know that quite yet. I'm going to figure all of that out. Maybe it's a weekend thing for me. Listen, I plan on going back to work, getting back in the trenches. So while I'm building my podcast, my brand, I've been doing it for some time. But if you guys, those of you who are out there, and I know there are quite a few, I started really trying to watch other podcasts on YouTube and just seeing how things, work around here. So, bless you. I'm sorry, that was my puppy. Well, he's not a puppy, but he looks like a puppy. Yeah, so I am trying to figure out what's like a good time to really come on, who will be out there. I don't know if it's really people just scrolling like they do on the FYP on the other platform, and then you can just come in. I'm trying to figure out a lot of things and what happens without boring the crap out of you guys, because that's not the goal here. The goal is really to educate, uplift, level up, right? But you guys are the only ones that can help me be successful. I know I'm putting in the work. Yes, it starts with me. It starts with you. But if you find it in your heart to come and hang out with your girl, your new friend, please do. I love just the jokes, and I don't have a laugh track, so I'm going to have to figure that one out, because I like the laugh tracks. I think it makes it fun, and especially if something is funny, we want to be funny, don't we? We really do want to be funny when we need to, when it's appropriate, guys. I do have something that works with my my laptop. I do have some of the sound cards that have the funny responses and things of that nature. So we'll have some fun. Anyway, thank you. We are good. I got in 47. You might as well. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Because It is 47 minutes in. It just doesn't make sense to just to check out at 47 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and push it to 50 minutes. I know we probably should just do an hour, which would make more sense, right? But we will definitely do a whole even 50 minutes. Um, and then hopefully when I come back, my screen and backdrop will be set up better, centered. Yeah, so I am excited. Now, you know what? Since I do have a little bit of time and we're talking about all the things of the things, a lot of people know me as Lady T, the quiet before the storm. Now, what I've done in my brand is I usually play a lot of R&B music. Well, I understand that here may not be as favorable, but what I do, what it's not me because I'm not a DJ. It's not me playing music as if I was a DJ. It's being acknowledging the artist and giving history on music and the song and who wrote it and who collaborated. A lot of that is what you get. Take Motown, for example. I did a segment on that, played tribute to Berry Gordy and the whole Motown sound. You went from the original Motown up through the new, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, but just to, give you an idea, it is definitely something that I'm still considering, but listen, I have my part-time engineer who's giving me signals and telling me that, yes, I do know that I'm not centered. I told you this was a technical thing, my very first live on YouTube. And my engineer is asking for food. He's asking me what do I want. That's lovely. Because I told you I'm a one-woman band, so hair, makeup, and I have a hat on today. Sound tech, check, yes. I've got about yeah, I've got about. Can you give me a second? Okay, so no one seems to care that I'm live and that I am live on here. Yes, I will send you a little communication right now. Thank you guys, though. I appreciate it. So I promise, guys, I'm going to put those doors on my office. I love this open floor plan thing, but sometimes you just really, really do need to have that separation, right? So yeah, I was talking about the Lady T's Quiet Before the Storm, which is inspired a lot on the quiet storm that we know from our radio stations. The quiet storm is a movement. I want people to know that, right? So we're still going to talk a lot about that and do a little bit of that as well. I just got to figure out how to move forward in doing that. You guys have been beautiful listening to me. And, you know, we're going to listen when I tell you. And then the other thing I need to figure out, how long do you really stay on? Is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour? no, I am not like TT people where they're like 3 hours, 4 hours. That's insane to me. But it it works for some people. But I want it to be where you guys are hanging out with me and it's well worth it. One, and you're not overwhelmed or bored. Two, and that you can actually contribute, and and I don't know if there's a way that I can invite you to come up on the actual during the live. So got to figure out a whole lot of stuff. So anyway, we are just about at an hour. We made it. I again, guys, don't know if that's what we should be doing. I don't know. I'm seeing something flying around. But hopefully, hopefully, an hour is more than enough, or maybe it's just 30 minutes. I want to hear your feedback. Help out your girl. Yeah. LadyTPurdy loves to hear, get your feedback. I'm going to put this as a call to action. How about that? Give me some tips and tricks and do's and don'ts. How about that? Call to action, tips and tricks, do's and don'ts. This is LadyTPurdy, your level up mentor, and this is my podcast. And I just went through a whole laundry list of things, and tonight was just an introduction of who I am, what the plan is. I'm trying to get some audio, making sure the sound check is working, as well as my background and the audio, the video is coming through, and just making sure we're able to actually connect live the way I've been connecting, because I'm going through, a different source in order to have all of the things as it relates to my background. So, tips, call to action. If you don't mind, if you do see this video, and you'll probably have to get all the way to the end of the video to know that there is a call to action. Maybe I can go in and actually edit it and, put it in the beginning or the end, the question. Anyway, call to action, guys. Tips, tricks, do's, and don'ts for me. I would love to hear your feedback, what it is that I can do, what it is that I can't do, what it is that you suggest to make things better in terms of building the community, because again, I don't like subscribers. I like building a family, a network. So, but YouTube calls it, subscribers, how we get more participation, audience participation. I'd love to hear that from you guys. Those of you who are seasoned veterans out in the YouTube land. I can't believe I'm actually now going to be a YouTuber. I don't know if that's the right term or not, but anyway. Listen, you guys gotta know that anytime you are doing this broadcasting live podcast, you've got to like what you do. Matter of fact, you got to love what you do. I know some people may be in it for monetary perspectives, and I get it. I'm not knocking that. But the first thing, you've got to know that you're doing something because you truly like doing it. You love what you do. And for me, that's what this is. I don't want to come into this with an expectation of I'm coming in to make this money. That's not what I'm doing here. This is truly therapeutic one, and something that I found that I really loved. I never was a social media person. I had a IG and it sat out there forever. I had Facebook. I think the last time I posted on it was in 2012 until just recently. And then, right? And so, yeah, I am so glad to be doing this and want to make sure I do it justice. I love it. I love talking and helping people level up. Yes. While I help myself, this helps me be a better version of me. So, anyway, that is my time, and I appreciate you guys. It's been an hour. Again, I'm going to tweak it, get your feedback on, how long I actually should do a live, because I don't know, to be honest, on YouTube. And I appreciate any of your feedback that you give me. It will be welcomed, as well as being engaging in the live. So I look forward to hanging out with new friends. So let's do it. Thank you guys. Until next time.